All right, guys, I've just got done fleshing. As you can see, this coon is a mess. But all I'm really interested in is this general area, really right in here for crafting purposes. I'll use this coon and hopefully several more. If not, I'll just save this one and put it back and be able to use the pieces to construct a piece of gear or piece of kit, or maybe a clothing item, something like that. But as you can see, well, you may be able to see, camera's kind of high. All I did was I took that piece of cordage from my gambrel, and I've got my iPhone hanging right up here above me, guys, so you get a top-down view. Once again, hands are washed, sanitized, and I'm going back to work because I want to get salt on this hide ASAP. But in the fleshing process now, I've got fur, I've got individual hairs coming through this side of the hide, because in fleshing, the hide is starting to slip the hair. So I want to get this salted down ASAP so that the hide restricts around the hair follicles and locks the hair in place, because I already am losing fur. Get gloved up. Just regular old, probably can't even see it, regular old salt. They say non-iodized, and the reason for non-iodized is because iodine salt will sometimes tend to stain the actual leather, if you will. Now, if you are making deerskin jerkin and things like that, deerskin clothing, where you want to slip the hair and just use the deer hide as like a leather to craft with, you definitely don't want to use iodized salt. It's not going to mean that it doesn't tan properly or anything like that, but it will stain. It has a tendency to stain. So uniodized, free-flowing, small grain. Now I'm just going to start dumping it on. And it's not enough to merely dump salt on the hide. All I'm really worried about, though, is salting what I'm for sure definitely going to use, some of this extremity part. This is all going to be trimmed up nice and neat and cut off of here. I'll salt it down anyway, down the legs and all that such, because you never know what you might get a little bit of use out of. A lot of salt in the head, and I do mean a lot. Get a good layer of salt on, and it's not enough just to dump it on. You want to actually rub the salt in. Make sure that it penetrates. It's going to absorb, it's going to draw all the moisture out, and it's going to lock those hair follicles down tight and prevent any more slippage, because I already have slippage, like I said, from just fleshing. We're going to get it rubbed in really well, all the way out to the edges, so I can save everything that I can possibly save, especially the head. I'm going to make sure that I get down inside the ears, up into the cheek area. You should be able to see this still. Up here into the nose area. A lot of salt. Because if I do decide I want to use this head for something, this face, I've got to make sure that those whiskers here stay intact. Just like on my others, just like on my other coon, just like on my coyote. I don't want that to slip either. And honestly, I haven't been salting like this very long. This is generally where I take and use a salt water solution. I will take this hide and I will make a strong solution of salt water, ocean water basically, high saline content, and soak the hide for several days. But we're going to give it a go this route and see how it comes out. I'm a real big fan of soaking hides to set the hair. I've never had any problems, but we're going to try this. Now, this is what I did with the coon last year. This is what I did with the skunk that you guys saw earlier. And that hair is locked in very, very tight. As you saw, it doesn't pull out, it doesn't slip. Except that skunk, the sun was going down on me. I didn't have time to flesh. It got dark, so I just salted the entire hide, flesh and fat and everything. There's not a lot of fat on a skunk. Excuse me. So I just salted the entire hide and left it until this season. But anyway, salt it down real good. There is no such thing. First thing you have to learn, there's no such thing as too much salt. I can empty this entire container. This container of salt was about 83 cents, picked up at Dillon's. No such thing as too much. It's cheap. Use it all. Now this coon's just going to stay out here. I'm going to lock up tonight, close the door, and it's going to sit out here in this garage. And I'm not going to touch it until probably next weekend. There we go. One empty container, and it was brand new. Now, as I said, the salt's going to cause vasorestriction. That's going to take the skin cells and the skin around the hair follicles, and they're really opened up right now, but that's going to cause them to squeeze in and restrict and lock the hair into the follicle so that we don't get any more slipping. All right, that's it for this video, guys. We've got our hide, we've got this coon skinned out, she is fleshed out, she is salted, and next weekend we should be ready to maybe trim it up a little bit, get all the salt off of it, maybe give it a good wash, and then we will let it drip dry, let it hang dry for a while. We don't want it to dry real hard because it'll get stiff. We want it to dry, you know, just basically pat it dry, get the fur dry, and get excess moisture off of the pelt. And then we're going to use our Hunters and Trappers tanning formula, and we're going to get tanning on this hopefully by next weekend. All right, thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget, if you haven't yet and you'd like to subscribe to the channel, reach over there and hit that subscription button for me. Ding the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload. Questions, comments, drop them down below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, share it with friends, whatever you want to do. It's really helpful for the channel. Questions, comments, hit me up below. I think I might have already said that. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys, for your views and for your support, and I'll see you all on the next one.